Come see the brand new White Dwarf for December 2016. This is the Blood Bowl edition. Spiky bits. Alright, welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. Rob Baer here, going over the brand new White Dwarf. And this, it seems like it's a lot thicker. I feel like this month. Now, it's not sealed. There isn't fabulous cash and prizes inside this month, unfortunately. But there's still a lot of content, I feel like, as far as that goes. Now, we have some really good looking bookmarks here to so I can find all the things I want to talk about here, because I can't show you the whole White Dwarf, and a lot of it's already, been showed off online and things, as we've seen in the weeks when people start getting these, and they're like, hey, check this out, hey, check this out, hey, check this out, and it is great. It's a very exciting time in the hobby when these things come out. So here's just some notes on, the current White Dwarf team. The guys from Blood Bowl are coming back right there. Apparently Al from Tool Time is the new editor. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great picture. Great picture, Matt. I love you, man. Alright, so going into the contents here, you can see there's a lot of features. Most of them are on Blood Bowl itself. There's a great Blood Bowl battle report, if you will, in here. And there's a showcase on Stormcast. That guy, Ben, from the battle report from last month, was kind of throwing it down and talking about his army there. So you got that. You got those. You got some heavy metal showcases. You got some ideas on doing basing. But what you might not have seen is there's actually a really good paint guide in here for the Skaven, and also for the Thousand Suns themselves. Now, that being said, there's a Magnus showcase. Of course, there's this dope-ass Forge World display board, studio display board that's it's set up a little different than what we saw at that one Horse Heresy Weekender, which I thought was pretty neat. So, of course, the first few pages are, all the ads and everything. Hey, look at all this stuff. It's amazing. Buy all our stuff this weekend. And it seems like the way the White Dwarf is going is that, it comes out in the first 2 weeks. They basically showcase the first 2 weeks of releases, and then the last 2 weeks of the month, it's kind of like anybody's guess. It's like round two. Guess what's coming out? Nobody knows, and it's really exciting because you see all that stuff, and you're like, oh, and now we have no idea what's coming out next week, and then boom, GW hits us with that dope trailer on like a Monday or a Sunday, and they're like, oh my God, Wrath of Magnus! Heads collectively explode all over the hobby. It's great. Did I mention it was fun? And it's great, because it is. I like what the studio guys did here, and they sprayed their little passing templates and their throw-in template and their little scatter template with a gold, probably some of that Stormcast, and sealed it up. I used to have a GW figure case, one of the hard case ones that I sprayed with gold Krylon spray paint, but I didn't seal it like a dummy, and over time it kind of all chipped off, and you could see the black underneath it. So don't be a dummy. If you do that, make sure you seal it with some dull coat or matte coat to keep it looking fresh for years down the road. So here's all the Blood Bowl releases. Of course, you got Death Zone Series 1, which we did an unboxing on here on the channel. If it's not up now, it will be up very shortly. The Skaven Bright Scramblers, and of course the dice that go with them too, which they don't have in here, interesting, but we did a review on those. And then here's more stuff that's coming out. It looks like they have some custom pitches coming out, some Heresy transfer sheets. Now, GW just said in this White Dwarf, they actually say that the Horse Heresy Book 7 Inferno is coming out this month. Well, they've clarified on their site since then that it is not. It will be out, I guess they said the first of the year or something-ish. So that could be January, that could be February, but either way, it doesn't look to be this month. And there's some of the Christmas bundles and releases and things. And then it gets in Space Hulk Deathwing, which I think got pushed back to December 9th. There's an open beta of it, if not this weekend, or people have already played it this week, so I'm sure we'll see some YouTube videos and things here this weekend cropping up everywhere there. And there's this nice little centerfold that we've seen already of Magnus going up against Logan Grimnar and his sled. Now, my prediction is that Logan, unfortunately, meets his demise, goes to the halls of Valhalla or whatever, and Ragnar becomes the new Great Wolf, kind of like what happened in the Kallion book when Shrike took over for the Raven Guard, which would be really interesting to see. Now, here's the showcase, the full-on showcase of the Rubric, Thousand Sun Marines, and of course the Occult Terminators. Boom. And then you got the Zangors, the Exalted Sorcerers, which are a great looking kit, and it looks like you can make these guys a number of ways, which I'm super excited about. And then the thing that set everybody off, the Traitor Legions and the Codex Imperial Agents book that looks to be coming out middle of the month. Like I said, we never really know what's coming out in the last 2 weeks of the month, but we seem to get a good idea for the first 2 weeks, which is pretty cool, and I will take it. Then there's some more things and mop-ups, but they are kicking off the return of Spike magazine, which was a huge deal back in the day, and they've got some guides, just all sorts of stuff talking about the new releases and everything in here. Now, we've reviewed the Dead Zone book, we've reviewed the Scramblers, we've reviewed the Blood Bowl book. We actually have a battle report coming out, our very own battle report, with a live studio audience, which was pretty exciting for all the cats here in the studio. There was also a cat in the studio as well, so look for that probably next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. And if you like it, make sure you drop us a comment, because we would like to do more of those. Those were pretty fun. Much alcohol was consumed on that. So here's all the content for the Spike magazine, and then they get in to explaining more and more and more on some simple tactics, like some formations and things, way above my pay grade right now. But hopefully I will become a subject matter expert on it in no time. There's another shot of the custom spray painted template there. So moving on to some other great features in here. Of course, you got the class of 2016 is the battle report itself, where you've got Jervis playing Matt. And I mean, why not? Jervis basically wrote the game, so I don't see why not. So this is a great feature to read. It was very entertaining, and I like how they did all the battle report, like the bird's eye view things here with, the John Madden squiggles, and what they got to do here is get the ball to the end zone and score. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. So it's a great feature in there. And then it gets to actual new content where they've got some Lost Patrol stuff. Then they've got basically playing Wraith Knights and Storm Surges in the Night Renegade game, which I really, really enjoyed. That's a good kind of one-off thing. Hey, let's play with our big baddies. These are pretty neat. They have lots of hit points, which is kind of crazy there. And then they've added the actual proper Gene Steeler called multi-part kits into the Deathwatch Overkill game, which I never played. Can't give you a good report on, but if you wanted to add these into that game, which basically kicked off the Gene Steeler called miniatures, well, now's your chance. So really cool stuff there. More pictures and fluff on the Crimson King. This piece of artwork right here is very exciting. I like that one. And then, of course, there's more, and this is the one that they covered up in the video. So really cool stuff in here. Now let's make our way through the magazine here. So here's a showcase on what they call the Sons of Magnus, of course, painted to the heavy metal standard. Now, somebody somewhere said that the Magnus miniature took 300 hours to paint, and that was including painting the test miniature, which was like the medium soda size, as opposed to, they had a little picture of Aramon, and they had medium Magnus, and then they had the super mega size, super size me Magnus that we're all going to be able to buy here next week for 130 buckaroos. So there is all these, and they look great, and then it gets into some heavy metal stuff. There's the new studio table, but what I want to talk about, because we love hobbying here, is the paint splatter. So here it is. Now you can paint Thousand Suns like a pro. And a little pro tip, or they call them top tips, is using shades right here. Make sure you read through this, because shades are basically not really something that you want to smatter all over the model. Now you can, and it produces a great effect, i.e., Agrax or Shader, the Devil Mud of old, aka skill in the bottle, right? But a lot of times you just want to get in the cracks, which might be important on these guys because they have so much like ornate little armor with all these grooves and everything. So, just kind of keep that in mind. A glaze generally can go over the whole model. It's thinned down. That works out a lot better. But here's the guide for using everything here. And of course, they have the Skaven over here as well, like if you want to paint them in the traditional kind of green color scheme. But they also have all the flesh and all the warpstone effects and things, which, definitely bring it all through, and they keep that whole palette there. Because remember, there's a whole bunch of reds, there's a whole bunch of greens. You might have a hard time, figuring out which kind of shade or palette to stay in, but this guide here would definitely help you out. I really hope they put out a Blood Bowl painting guide. For $10, I think the guides they've been putting out are pretty exciting. And then here's the Basing Masterclass, coming in hot from the Painting Faces Masterclass series. Well, here you got basing for all the new hero bases. So cool stuff here, and also using some of the textures and things as well. So as far as teasers go, there isn't anything big here. They don't really let on to much, just generic stuff right here. So that's all we're going to get going into the new year there, and this nice little showcase of Magnus the Red as well. So that's it for this one, folks.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.